all attendees to hear you. This system will notify you once you begin your broadcast. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi ladies, thanks for joining in. We're just going to wait 2 minutes just to get started. So make sure you've got like a drink of water or something with you, no distractions. And we'll get going in 2 minutes just to make sure everyone's on board, because obviously some haven't done this before and don't really know what the script is, so I'll walk it through all together once everyone's on. So we've got a few on just now so far, which is good. Perfect. Ladies that are on just now, if you can quickly, on the right hand side of your screen, you should have a chat box. The control panel, you should have a chat box. If you can click on chat and just quickly write in yes if you can hear me. And also if you can see the screen as well. You need to see the screen because it's the slides. So it's very visual, this seminar, webinar even. So if you can make sure you can see what's going on and you can hear me, that's good. Perfect, Don, thank you. A few more yeses, yep, perfect. So I can be seen, the screen can be seen and I can be heard, that's all I need. Well, it doesn't actually matter if you can see me or not, but it's good to know that these are going to make the most out of this, really. We'll give it 2 minutes and we're going to get going. And so we'll run to 8 o'clock, ladies, because I've got a group coaching call with my online clients at 8 o'clock, so I'll need to boost quickly. But if we run out of time for questions or anything like that, then we can do that via email or text or on the Facebook page. That can easily be done again. Right. Just making sure there's nobody on Facebook. Not sure what they're doing. Just a quick yes on the right hand side, ladies, and the control panel. Click chat. Just a quick yes if you can hear me and see the screen. That'd be great. This is obviously getting recorded as well, so you can watch it back if you miss any snippets. If you have to go, if anything crops up in the next hour, because I do appreciate it. You're all busy just now. Nicola, yes, perfect. So we're getting more yeses coming through. Right. 1 minute and we'll get going, promise. I don't want to waste time here. People that join in through the presentation will just need to join in through the presentation. It says it's recorded, so anything that's missed can be seen again. Got you, Vicky. Perfect. Will you be on at 8 o'clock as well, Vicky? Just so I know. You got a busy night. Yeah, perfect. Cool. Right, let's get going. Where are we? Cross this off. Right, so ladies that are on just now, you can all hear me, you can all see me. I'm happy with that. I'm just going to turn my webcam off now. I don't really need that. I just don't want to lose any signal or have it affect the connection and let this drop. So I'm going to keep my screen on, but I'm going to turn my webcam off now. Okay. Right, so yeah, obviously this is a presentation, ladies, about the truth about weight loss and toning. I did this presentation in a seminar in Inverness a couple of weeks back, so I promised I'd repeat this online, and this is it online. Exact same stuff. There's no on the seminar. I offered places out for my work, from some of my stuff to become clients, but I'm not going to do on this anything in this specifically. So you can just basically sit back and relax, and if at the end, if you do feel the need to get in touch with me, you know what I am. You all know what I am anyway. But yeah, we'll get going with this now. Should I click off the screen? At any point through the presentation, ladies, if you can, that chat box you wrote in there, just write any questions through or any interaction I ask for through the presentation. You can quickly write that in. If anything crops up, you feel you agree with, disagree with, any questions you have crop up, just write it in then, and I'll get back to it at the end if I have time. Okay? If I don't have time at the end, then I promise I'll get back to you. Right. Okay. So what are we talking about here today? Well, how do I put this down? Perfect, that's better. Some weight loss myths where most ladies are going wrong, mindset, and the exact steps you need to take in order to get to your goal, obviously, and why the days of dieting are dead or should be, and how to begin to get your body back starting now. And look, with everything I do, I promise to tell you the absolute truth through the whole presentation. I will tell you. I promise to tell you the truth. I won't tell you what you want to hear all the time, because what you want to hear, again, isn't always going to be the best for you. And that might be why you're watching this right now. You might have listened to other people too much. You might have listened to yourself too much. It got to a stage where you need a bit of help. You need a kickstart. Like, that's maybe why you're on this. So, if you do ask any questions, if through the slides, if anything does crop up that I think needs to be said, I'll say it. Okay. The rules is, so basically all I want you to do is, like I said before, say questions then. I don't want to get sidetracked. It's my opinions and views. It's not gospel. Mobiles offering distractions like that, because you need to be 100% on this, okay? Because not everyone that's going to watch this will get a result from this magically. You know what I mean? Say, for argument's sake, there's 100 people watching this. You'd be lucky if 10 people got results from this, and that's not a word of lie. So be that sort of 10% of people that actually get something from this, because again, this is called this. You will get motivated. You will be inspired. I will give a kickstart. I will give you information, but again, information doesn't always lead to like transformation. Okay, it doesn't always lead to result, because you can get overwhelmed. You can overthink, and it can lead to do nothing. So be that sort of 10% and on this webinar tonight that actually do something with this. Okay, keep an open mind. I said what I'm saying here is not gospel. It might not always be what you've done, what you're used to, but again, that might be why you're here. So keep an open mind and maybe try new things. And always remember this: if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you're unhappy and you want to change, if you don't make any sort of definite effort to change, then nothing will change. And that's all that basically means there. Pretty simple. On to the next one. So this is a bit slow, ladies, tonight. It can be like this. Right, so who am I? Well, I'm Dan. You all know me from here. My emails, Facebook, some of you on this are even clients. So you know where I am, obviously. I've done some stuff for Radio Scotland recently. I'm going to be doing some more stuff soon. So that's kind of cool. It's something new. I train people online, offline, one-to-one in groups, online one-to-one, online in groups. So there's all different sort of ways. It means people work with me. I have the free Facebook group. I do the daily emails. I do some direct mail things like that, which I had a bit of disaster last time, as some of you might know. But yeah, my job is to get ladies like you results. I don't work with guys. Why? Because guys don't always listen. So I work with ladies. Why do I work with ladies? Well, I've always worked. I kind of fell into it. Then I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed getting ladies results. And it's what I'm used to. I get the problems ladies go through, of not through being female, obviously, but I've got a wife. She's gone through stuff like this, stuff that you've gone through, so I understand it. And I've had plenty of clients that have opened up to me with problems before that sort of covers everything. There's not a lot that I haven't dealt with females, with clients over the years. Probably worked with well over 100 ladies, And again, not got all of them results, but the ones that have got results, the ones that have listened, the ones that have taken everything on board, have got brilliant results and have literally, it might sound a bit airy-fairy, but have sort of changed your life for the better, you know. And it's not always the weight loss and etc. That'll change your life. It's the feeling what weight loss will give you, the feeling that toning up will give you, the feeling that feeling better about yourself will give you day to day, instead of waking up, you know, hating what you see, being unhappy, having no energy, feeling lethargic, bloated, that kind of stuff. My job is to get you from point A to point B. That's if somebody's working me, I get you from point A to point B. All this sort of free stuff, the Facebook stuff, the email stuff, these webinars. My job is to give you I said before, I kind of know not everyone's going to get results with that. It'd be unrealistic for unpaying clients to all sort of get results. It'd be totally unrealistic. So I just kind of see it as a bonus, to be honest. Venues on this that don't work with me, if you happen to get something from us, that's a great bonus for me. And don't get me wrong, my buzz is getting results. You know, being paid for us is all well and good, and yes, it is my job, it is my livelihood. But people paying me money and me not getting the result is no good. So taking cash isn't my main aim. My main aim is, yes, you pay up front for my services, but my job is to get results, because I'm nothing like you see in this webinar tonight. You'll see the kind of results ladies have had like you before. I am nothing without those results. I need you to do the work, and I put my 100% all into you getting results. And even the ladies that get the free stuff, you know, kind of know if any of you have had the calls with me, the clarity calls, the strategy calls, just try to get a bit clearer mentally. Even stuff like that, if somebody comes back a week later and says, you know, I've done this different from last week, I see that as a big bonus. So, you know, if you get anything from this webinar tonight, I'd be delighted. Truthfully delighted. So the basis of this to start with tonight. Are you happy? Yes, then keep doing whatever you're doing, obviously. But a problem a lot of ladies have is they can be at a stage of happy, they can be at a stage of happy with the body, happy with the mindset, but they keep doing what they're doing. You know, they stop doing what gets them the results. I've seen it before. I've seen it with clients. I've seen it with non-clients that they get a result, they lose weight, they do whatever they want to do to start with, and they get there, and it's kind of like something's missing again. So I need to blow it all up and go back to the start and go again, and you go back to the start and go again, you go back to the start and go again, get a result. And it becomes harder and harder. It affects you mentally, it affects you physically. So if something's working for you, keep doing whatever you're doing. Why would you change it? Because the thing a lot of people want to do is when things are going well, they'll overcomplicate things when it doesn't need overcomplicating. Keeping it simple is the best, always the best way. If you're not happy, do you want to be happy? Yes, and change something, as I said at the start. Do you want to be happy? No, then again, keep doing what you're doing. If you don't want to be happy, then keep not being happy. It's as simple as that. But I'm guessing if you're on this tonight and there's something you want to change, and you do want to be happy about that situation. So again, keep listening to this tonight, okay? And the beginning is the most important part of the work, okay? So what I mean by that is that it can be easy to overthink things. It can be easy to get overwhelmed. Think, you know, I mean, there must be about 10, 20 ladies that have signed up for this webinar tonight that haven't came on this tonight. And I know that life can get in the way, kids, work, stresses, things like that. But some people just sign up and kind of think, yeah, I'll do that, I'll watch that, and it'll just happen for me. But you've signed up for this webinar. It's a 7 o'clock on a Monday night. You could be doing something different. You could be watching TV. You could be out with friends. You could be spending time with your family. But you've taken the choice to watch this tonight and make a difference to you, and you should be proud of that, because it's not easy to do that. You know, sometimes think, you're just watching something, it's easy. And yes, it is kind of easy. And the hard thing is, yes, kind of doing the work after it and implementing the stuff. But actually making that effort to change, you should be proud of, because it's very hard. It's very scary to start before you start anything like exercise without starting like eating better, exercising, because it's not what you're used to. You're giving stuff up. You're putting yourself through pain. And why would you do that, really? But you want something, okay? And the beginning is the most important part of it. So you've taken action. Be proud of that. Now, keep the ball rolling. Keep the momentum up and do something at the end of this webinar, whether it is on your own or with somebody else. Do something that makes an active change in your life, okay? And do something today that your future self will thank you for. Too many people kind of live in the present, kind of think day to day. I don't fancy it today. I don't feel it today. I'm not going to eat well today. I'm going to wait till next week because I've got a busy week this week. I'm going out with friends at the weekend, so there's no point in starting today because I'm going out at the weekend anyway. So it'll kind of defeat the purpose, and that is bullshit. Okay, make change happen today. Okay, there's no need to wait a week. There's no need to wait 2 weeks. There's no need to wait till after that holiday you've got in 2 months. What is the point in that when you could do something now and give yourself less work when you do actually do it 100%? Okay, so do something today your future self thank you for. You will regret it in a few years' time if you don't do something about it now and you look back and you think, oh, I watched that webinar, I was listening to Dan and what he was saying, and he was totally right, but I just, I didn't think it was the right time, and I left it, and it didn't happen, and things got worse, and I'm kind of stuck here and worse. How much do you regret that? What would the emotional cost that be that to you? And both terms, physically, in terms of internally as well, how you feel inside, mentally, every day. So do something today your future self thank you for. Why are you here today? Well, the chances are you're here today because you're one of the below. Okay, you're stuck and happy. You're stuck in a rut. You have been for a long time. You don't know where to start. You don't know what's best. You're unhappy with yourself for letting it get this way. You're unhappy with how you look, unhappy with how you feel every day, and you don't want to carry on. You're confused as in what's best. You hear a lot of conflicting stuff in media, and different sources, social media, magazines, newspapers, and you don't, there's diets, there's this, there's that, there's detox, there's detox, there's shakes, there's pills, there's loads of stuff, but you're confused. And this leaves you frustrated because the longer and longer it goes, the worse and worse you get. And you don't know where to start. So it leaves you more and more frustrated, and you fall out yourself more and more. You think you've tried everything, you don't feel good within, and you're scared of it getting worse. Because as well as that fear of starting, there's a fear of it getting worse. And sometimes, like I said in that email on Saturday, I can't remember what the quote was exactly, but sometimes the fear of things getting worse or the pain getting worse is a bigger sort of catalyst for you doing something than the sort of the objective, feeling good, having a goal. Yeah, I want to lose 2 stone in 3 months. I want to lose 2 stone in 3 months. Well, actually, wanting to drop 2 exercises because you can actually enjoy going shopping, because you can actually play with your kids without feeling knackered, so you can wake up every day without feeling knackered and having energy, so you can have better relationships with your husband, with your boyfriend, with your kids. Something that's more of a bigger why, so to speak, than losing weight. And that's what I'm trying to say there is. And even it could just be a kick at the backside. I know there's some of you on this tonight that need a kick at the backside. So hopefully this gives you a kick at the backside, okay? Your why. Now, you might have heard me talking about this before. Now, your why is basically, self-explanatory, why you do it. Now, sometimes people think their why is something's what friends have done. My friend did this, she did that, so I want to do that, and then it kind of you get the result, and it kind of feels empty. Like when you lose weight, you've probably all been there, done like quick fix diets, you lose weight, and all you think you want to do is lose weight, but you kind of get there and you feel empty and you still feel unhappy. You look like shit, you feel like shit because you're not eating proper food. Your why is your driving force behind why you do things when you don't feel like doing things. So when you get up before work to do a workout, when getting in workouts when on days you just can't be arsed. Eating well when you can't be arsed. Eating well when you're with friends. Eating well when you're out and nights, meals out, making better choices. Making the effort to eat breakfast every day when you can just skip breakfast and then be ravenous the rest of the day. These are your why is the reason why you do that, because if your why is not big enough, you'll not do those things. And if your why is big enough, but you're still not doing it, then you've got to worry, because there's got to be some sort of trigger. It might be because you want to meet someone, but you don't feel good within yourself just now, so it's putting you off meeting people because you're unhappy with yourself, with how you look and how you feel. So the thought of meeting someone else scares you. Or your why could be you don't want your relationships between your husband and your kids to spread apart because you're unhappy with you, because you're pushing them away because you're unhappy. That could be your why. Your why could be you never go shopping because you don't like the clothes you have to wear because of size you are. Your why could be avoiding nights out, avoiding social occasions because you don't feel good within yourself, because you have nothing to wear, because you feel unhappy, you feel like shit. So you think, nah, I'm not going to go out and get a stay in. I'm going to feel sorry for myself more. That could be your why, because that stuff isn't healthy. So whatever your why is, know it, get clear in it, and use that to drive you forward. Okay. So basically, the basis of that is what do you want and what will it mean? So if you got X result, what would that mean to your life? How would that make your life better if you lost 2 dress sizes and you could go shopping? How would it make your life better if you lost that weight and you could play with your kids instead of feeling knackered? How would it change your life if you became closer to your other half or became closer to your kids because you felt happier with yourself? Or you met someone else because you felt happy with yourself? What would that mean to you long term? How would that make your life better? Okay? For argument's sake, from a personal point of view, um, I get sort of kind of coaching and mindsets and mindset strategies and business work and things like that. And obviously, the main objective of having your own business is being able to enjoy time off, being able to be your own boss. But I got to a stage where I had a job and it wasn't working for myself. I just had a job, and I happened to be working for myself. I was doing too many hours. I was trading time for money, and it came to the point where I was either going to give it up or I was going to leverage my time better, get better results for clients, and have more time off. So I got coaching to get more time off, but still get the same results for clients and still make the amount of money I need to pay the bills and to look after my family, things like that. That was my why, because me having more time off gave me more time to my family, gave me more time to play football, to look after myself. Because the time, like before that, I wasn't doing that. My family were getting the dregs of me. I was coming home from work and I'd been cabbing my wife. I'd be snapping my wife because I was moody, I was tired. I would I'd be playing football. I'd be playing football, but I'd be playing shit because I never had any energy for it. Because my whole week was kind of like 100 miles an hour. I got to Saturday and it's kind of like I just want to rest, but I have to play football. I didn't play well. Or just look after myself. I didn't have time to go to the gym. I didn't have time to eat well myself. So I was kind of being hypocritical myself. Me telling other people, fail to prepare to fail. Prepare your foods, eat right, get your breakfast in, get your lunch in, get your dinner in, drink plenty of water. And I wasn't even doing it myself. So I needed coaching to get myself out of that, but still be able to work for myself because I didn't want to get a job. Okay, so that was my why. So what I'm going to give you some mindset hacks now here. Okay, some stuff I've learned recently. 2 seconds, I'm just get a glass of water because I'm getting a bit dry. So some mindset stuff here, right? Stuff that's really important. A mindset. If your mindset isn't right beforehand, before you try and get a result, then you've got no chance. If you just kind of hope to throw shit at the wall and hope it sticks, hope to get a result, join that gym and hope it works, do that diet and hope it works, then 9 times out of 10 it's not going to work. That is reality. And it's kind of like no problem can ever be solved from the same state it was created. And that's pretty, when you get a result, you will not have the same mindset as you had at the start. The clients I have that are getting amazing results right now are completely different people to what they were at the start. I'm not saying they were bad people at the start, but all I'm saying is their mindset wasn't in the right place in order for them to get a result in 12 weeks' time, for example. Okay. Now, if they went along and joined a gym, tried eating well themselves, yeah, they might get a result, but it might have took a hell of a lot longer, or they might not get a result, and they'd have gone back to the start and felt worse. So that's what I'm trying to say. Your mindset at the start needs to be completely different, and you need to be totally prepared to throw yourself 100% all into it. Okay? You need to be prepared to be different, because being different is good. If you're the same as everyone else, look at the population of Britain. Look how many obese people there are. Look how many people are unhappy with their weight, unhappy with the clothes they wear, unhappy with how they look because of their weight, because of the food they eat, because of lack of exercise. The country is completely knackered. Okay? So if you go with the majority, then you're only going to go that way. And that is fact. That's simple. So you can be different. You can do what other people won't do and get a result. Okay? Simple as that. And throwing grenades in front of yourself. What I mean by that is, like I said earlier, get a result, but looking for an excuse to kind of stop and kind of think, no, I don't deserve this. I'm not worthy. I've never felt good. I've never lost weight. I've never lost weight and kept it off. So I'm going to just blow it up and go back to the start again because I don't deserve to feel this good. It's kind of stupid. I have it personally. There's some kind of times in my life I'm kind of like now I'm at a stage now. I'm happy with my job. I'm happy with football. I'm happy with how I look after myself, despite the amount of time I get to spend with my family. But still, at times I try and make myself busier when I don't need to. Kind of like what I was doing before. I kind of look for reasons to make myself busier, to work more because I don't feel I deserve to take a time off. because I wasn't used to it before. It's the exact same thing. You deserve to feel good, and self-worth is huge. I've just had a daughter 12 weeks ago, and I want her to grow up feeling self-worth and knowing that she deserves to feel good, because not enough women, not enough females, not enough mums think that it's like they don't think they don't deserve to feel good, because they've always put our people first for them. They've grown up, yeah, your mums, yeah, you've got kids, but you can't look after other people if you can't look after yourself. You can't expect to save everyone else if you can't save yourself. Okay, so your best chance of being a role model, looking after our people, looking after yourself, is by looking after number one first. And that might seem selfish, but it's the most unselfish thing you could do. Okay, and I do, yes, I do feel selfish sometimes when I go to work and leave my wife at home with my little one. But I know I need to do that so we can, live and have a good life and have. So I can't do get that time off, and so I can't look after myself. So you've got to get your head around that and do things again. Do things that other people want to do, and know that when you do get a result, that you deserve to feel this good, and you can get it. You can stay there, and you can get more and more, and even maintain. If it's just maintaining, you can maintain that and not go back. Your external result is a true reflection of your inner game. So fix the root cause. And it's kind of similar stuff we've gone over there recently. Is how you looking outside is a true reflection of how you feel inside. So again, it's not a case of the next diet, the next magic pill, the next thing. You've got to fix the root cause. Go deep, go even deeper, and go deeper in that. Okay? You will know deep down what pisses you off, what makes you unhappy. So use that as a fuel to drive you forward. Okay? Take responsibility for where you're at. Don't blame other things. Don't make excuses. Yes, excuses sometimes are valid. Things crop up, but 9 times out of 10 again, you can take responsibility, and when there's a will, there's a way. Don't listen to friends and family. That sounds pretty stupid, but friends and family can look for reasons to sabotage you because they don't feel good, so they don't feel comfortable with you getting away from them and feeling good. If you're in a group of friends and all you've ever done is gone nights out, meals out, lunches, and you're all kind of happy with how you look and how you feel, but you're the one that kind of goes away from that and tries to think, no, I'm going to eat differently. I'm not going to go for lunch every weekend. I'm not going to go out to the piss every weekend. I'm not going to have takeaways every weekend. I'm going to be different and do it for myself. Not listen to other people, do it for myself. And they're like, no, you don't need to do that. You look fine. Why are you eating that? You look great. You don't lose weight, things like that. And you're like, well, nobody knows better than me. Do you know what I mean? People will try and tell you what you want to hear. And don't always listen to it. Yes, they might be right sometimes, but don't always listen to it. Especially friends. And I'm guessing, obviously I'm not female, but I'm guessing that women could be quite bad for this. So I'm guessing that women would probably hate to see their friends look good and feel good when they know they really need to do that, but they can't. Okay, that sounds pretty brutal, but it's true. And always know that small steps lead to big results. Okay, big results don't come from big goals, big sort of airy fairy quotes, big sort of, in a year's time I'm going to look like this. Well, what are you going to do at 1 month? What are you going to do at 2 months? There's no point in thinking like that. Okay, take one day at a time, 1 week at a time, then 1 month at a time, and you'll get a big result. If you think month to month, if you think huge, like in 3 months' time, I'm going to look at this if I do this every day. Well, the first thing you got to do is do it every day, because that's hard. It's not as easy as it sounds. So always know that small steps lead to big results, and don't always. It's not always going to lead to massive weight loss every week, because it's not possible. It doesn't work like that. Okay. All right. Your body is your vehicle. Okay. Okay. What? That's simple. Your body's your vehicle that drives you forward. It's what you live with every day. So why not treat it 100%? Don't put yourself last. Don't think I'm not good enough. Save it, as I said before, save yourself before you save anyone else. I kind of went over that already, so I'll skip that slide here. And always know that what's the worst that can happen? If you go and I spoke to a lady about this last week, a lady Alison last week on the phone, and she was really stuck. She literally couldn't. The thought of like going to the gym petrified her. And by the end of the call, 10 minutes later, she was at the gym. And the biggest thing I said to her was, what's the worst that can happen? If you go to the gym, if you start eating well, if you know, anything like that, anything that makes positive kind of strides into getting a good result, what is the worst that can happen? What, people are going to talk about you, people are going to boast, talk behind your back, people are going to do that anyway. People are people. So don't worry about what other people think, because people do not care about you. People are too wrapped. Yeah, they might care about you for 2 seconds, but after that, they kind of go back to their own business because they're more bored about what their own concerns. Okay? So what is the worst that can happen? And don't care what other people think. Because thinking what other people think, caring about that, will only lead to do one thing, is do nothing. Okay? Majority won't do this. Be different. Don't care what other people think. Do the work required. Motivation. Yes, I'm going to get motivated to this, but I kind of need to follow this on. Everyone on this webinar tonight will probably come off this thinking, yeah, I'm going to be good now. Tomorrow onwards, or next Monday, I'm going to crack, I'm going to eat well, I'm going to do exercise, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to go to class, things like that. But you've got to keep that up. Motivation is one thing, but keeping it up is a completely different ballgame. So you've got to find, again, go back to your why and use that to keep you motivated. This guy, Paul, probably the only male client that I've ever worked with and that's got a good result. It's because he knew his why. He had 3 kids, he got diabetes, contracted diabetes, was at risk himself with his health, 6-7 stone overweight. Picture on the left is like April, picture on the right is it like October. 6-7 stone lighter, reverse diabetes, completely changed his life. Could now go and play football with his kids when he couldn't before. Could now want to go out with his kids when he couldn't before. Could now shop in normal shops, what he couldn't do before. Big stuff. Okay. Gia here, she had a wedding 6 months off. This was actually this before and after. Left and rights were actually at 16 weeks. The start 0 weeks. Next one was at 12 to 16 weeks. Sorry, but her end game was her wedding, and her wedding was about 10 months later. She lost 2-3 dress sizes. She had issues with postnatal depression. She got rid of that because of exercise, because she started to feel good, so she didn't feel a need for it anymore. She had, and she just mentally, what it did for her more than anything else was huge. And then it got, and as a bonus for that, she got to feel good on her wedding day, like she was here. Val, who was my first proper online client, and I was pretty skeptical about working online before, because before I started working online, I didn't really think that I could get people results online, because I thought it was a bit of bullshit. I was like, personal training is personal training. You need to see people. You need to, be face to face with them all the time. And what I kind of learned from that is it's totally rubbish, because this is one of the best. Val's transformation is probably one of the best transformations I've ever seen in 12 weeks. In 12 weeks, she lost. I think she was at, well, put it like now she's at 16, 17 weeks now from when she started. And when she started, she was at a 14, 16 size. I can't remember exactly. And at the seminar 2 weeks ago, when she came along at the seminar, she was like, I was shopping for a size 6 on top. And she has lost about 2-3 dress sizes in the main, but she keeps progressing. And it's what it's done for her mentally. And she can't even believe it herself. At the start, she told me this at the end of 12 weeks, but at the start she was kind of like, yeah, I'll try this, I'll give it a shot. But she kind of thought it was an hour sort of thing. But it totally blew her mind when she saw the results she got. Simply through cutting back, doing the exercise I told her to do, checking in when I told her to, being really accountable, and eating what I told her to eat, and cutting out what I told her not to eat. Simple. Massive result. It doesn't matter about age, because what Val kept going on about at the start was, my granny, I'm in my 50s, these young girls doing this with me, and she totally blew the young girls out of the water. Why? Because her why was huge. Simple. She knew what she needed to do, she did it. She was single-minded, she was narrow-minded, she didn't care what other people thought, and she went for it, and she got it. Okay? And that is the difference between lifestyle to short-term dieting. Dieting means, as soon as you hear diet, as soon as you hear somebody saying, I can get your result, and lose 2 stone in 28 days. If you hear that, run a mile, because it's bullshit. People cannot do this. If it's as simple as, popping pills, diet pills, drinking shakes, counting, points, Weight Watchers, Slim World, Herbalife, Juice Flask. I can name off loads of them. Detox, ketones. It just, like, even saying it makes me cringe. Okay? If it's that simple, I wouldn't have a job. What would be the point in personal trainers? What would be the point in guys like me if that stuff worked? Hell, I'd be doing it myself if it worked. It doesn't work. It leads you into believing to think it works, and it's designed to fail. It is designed for you to lose weight. Yes, lose weight, but as soon as you go back to eating real food, you put it back on with interest. So you then go back. You lose weight, you go back. You lose weight, you go back. You put weight on, you go back. Designed for you to fail. If these things worked, the companies would be broke because people just go at them and would leave. It'd be simple as that. But there's a thing there. We've got people going back and back and back because people think they need it, but they don't. What you need is to change your lifestyle. Fix the root cause. Change your lifestyle. The foods you eat, the way you think about yourself, how worthy you feel about yourself, knowing that you can feel good, you can look good, and you can eat real food and exercise properly without the short-term gimmicky stuff and lose weight and sustain it. You can do this stuff. Yes, it might take a little bit longer. That's just being realistic. You're not doing this for the short term. You're doing this for the long term. So you don't need to go back to that shit anymore. Okay? And that is magic diet pills for you. Okay? And it's just like this picture says. No magic pill, no special shake drink, no diet fad that will get you in lasting shape. It's called hard work will get you in shape. And getting off your ass. Pretty simple and true. Okay? And even, it's funny because even ladies that do it, I've had ladies that have left me and they're like, Dan, I'm going to do Slim World for a wee bit, it's just not for me just now. Where they've got a result in me in 90 days, but it's kind of like, I think I can do it myself now, so I'm going to go to Slim World, I'm going to use that to kind of keep me going. And it's kind of like, a month later, they're back with me. Why? Because it doesn't work. Fact. Okay? And that's the difference between traditional fad diets and nutritional cleansing. Nutritional cleansing sounds a bit kind of airy-fairy, a bit gimmicky in itself, to be honest, but with fad diets, what happens is fat stored from impurities. This means increased percentage of impurities, body senses increased level of impurities, and goes into emergency fat production and rebound. I.e., lose weight. Yes, you lose weight. And the thing is, with these diets, yes, you will get results. Yes, you'll lose weight. But you could lose weight by eating a Mars bar for breakfast and a Mars bar for lunch and eat a meal at night. You could do it from drinking a shake at breakfast, a shake at lunch, and a meal at night. You could do it from having pills in the morning, pills in the lunch, or fasting, and having one meal every 3 days, whatever people do. 5-2 diets, things like that. These things do get results. You will lose weight. The problem being you put it back on, you put it back on more, and that leaves you more and more unhappy. And what that's doing to you mentally more than physically is astonishing. You know that you're hormonally, how shit you're going to feel when you have to go back to that. How shit you're going to feel when you put weight back on again. You're constantly on scales. It just isn't worth thinking about. It's not worth thinking about. Okay. Whereas you can just keep it simple. You can lose body fat a bit slower, steadier, but real. You can get a real result, and you'll have better overall health with less fat and more lean muscle. Okay. Now we go to nutrition. The kind of stuff I get my ladies to do with nutrition, and it totally is 30% gym, 70% diet. The amount of ladies that I've got come up to me, the amount of clients come up to me and like, Daniel, it's just not working for me. I'm not getting a result. I've been doing this for 2 months. I'm not seeing any change. My clothes aren't any smaller. I'm like, well, have you set one food diet in? And they're like, no. Have you eaten well? And they're like, I've been a bit healthier, but I've had a few nights out. I've been out most weekends, and they're kind of like, I'm like, well, what? Like, it's pretty simple. You need to fix your diet. Okay, you can do all the exercise in the world, but if your food isn't on point, 70, 80, even 90% of the time, probably 90% of the time for most of my clients, that's what I'm looking at for HIIT Weekly. 80 in an average week, 70 on rarity. Anything below that is simple. I can't go home with you. I can't tell you what to eat. I can't go and throw all your biscuit tins in the rubbish container, because you've got to have that trust in yourself, that discipline, that dedication, that consistency within yourself to make sure you get that result. and a lot comes down if it comes down to you. That's why with my online clients, I get them to check in every single day. The accountability is huge. The check-ins are done every day, so that every day they're conscious about eating shit, cutting back, being good with food, with exercise, with all the mindset stuff. They're on that every single day. It's not Monday to Friday and they have the weekend off. It's not Monday to Thursday and they get to Friday and, you know, it starts on Friday and then Saturday, Sunday is a case of recovering, getting crap sleep, having takeaways, going back to Monday, and you wake up Monday and you can't get out of bed. But you think you're being healthy because you've been good Monday to Friday. It's like, well, you're undoing all your good work from Friday lunchtime into Monday morning. So no, you're not. You're not. I wouldn't say you're healthy. You know, and that's the 80-20% rule that I talked about. 80% of the time you're clean, you're 100%, you're on the ball, religious with what I say. 20% you can be a bit more relaxed, a bit more flexible. Yes, not kind of. So if you're looking over a week, I'm just going to try and do maths on the top of my head. Say for argument's sake, a lady comes to me and they're losing weight, and I'd have them sticking to a kind of plan which kind of would result in me eating about probably 1,500 calories a day. So 1,500 calories a day is about in a week in 7 days is 10,500 calories. Is it off the top of my head? Yeah, I think it is. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Tell me, but I think that's right. So 10% of 10,500 calories is 150. 20% is 300. So maybe out of the week you'd have maybe 300 calories of stuff out of that 10 10 10,500 that's maybe a bit more relaxed. Okay, that's kind of stuff. I mean, so where that's maybe a takeaway once a week, or you go for a couple of drinks once a week, or you go out for lunch once a week, or it doesn't have to be every week. You can maybe go every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, and you know you'll get out what you put into this, ladies. You know, there's no getting away from the fact that you get out what you put into it. And the cleaner you are, the better results you'll get. You don't need the 20%. Some weeks you don't even need the 10%. Val, the lady I was talking about there, had a huge reduction, like 14 to 6 in like 16 weeks. She could count the bad days in one hand in 16 weeks. That's kind of what you need to do. And this is kind of a generic quote from Only With Ethics, one of my sort of like programs I like watching, but I don't tell other people I watch. But it's kind of a quote that goes about no carbs or marbs. And a lot of people in nutrition, a lot of people think, you've got to cut back on carbs, you've got to stop eating carbs completely. The only thing you'll do when you do that is make yourself restrict, and you get to the point where it's like bang, and you blow up, and you eat carbs. But it's better if you have them maybe a little bit daily. Some days, maybe some days you'll just get your carbohydrates from fruit and veg. Maybe some days you'll get your carbohydrates from veg, and maybe some sweet potato, or maybe some rice, or maybe some quinoa. Those are the carbs I probably prefer. You got sources of carbs I prefer you had. Avoiding cutting back on like the bread and pasta, because people eat too much bread and pasta. It's comfort food. People eat far too much of it. So yes, I don't say never eat that again, but yes, you've got to cut back on it, because it's why you've got it got in a place where you've got too much fat in your belly, or you've got too much body weight because you've been eating too much of that. Portion control's not been right. So you've got to cut back on the carbs. The portion of the carbs, yes, we do not cut them out completely. That is a myth. Okay. Exercise as well. He did a lot of stuff like running, sit-ups, plank challenges. Plank challenges is one. One of my clients came up to me last week and says, Daniel, one of the ladies in my work says, if you do this plank challenge every day for a month, you'll lose all the body fat in your belly. Now, I think Jillian knew that it was bullshit, and she was just kind of confirming what she knew in her head, but that was rubbish. Okay, again, it goes back to the 30-70 thing. 30% gym, 70% diet. Plank challenge is all well and good, but the root cause is your food normally, most of the time. Running is another one. People think, I've got to lose weight. The first thing, I've got to get fitter, I've got to get healthier, I've got to lose weight. The first thing you think of is I've got to go running every day. Bullshit. Most of my clients never run. 90% of the time in a month they'll never run. I might do a wee bit, but most of the time you never need to do it in order to get a result. Okay, especially if you've got problems with hips, with knees, with lower back. Running is the last thing you want to do. And the same goes for sit-ups. People think, oh, I'll do sit-ups. I used to do 500 sit-ups a day for a year, and all I ever got was a pelvic problem because I did too much. It was going the wrong way all the time, and I wasn't doing enough back work. I got a pelvic inflammatory problem in my pelvis, and I got a bad lower back, and I got a sore neck, and I had a solid body fat in my belly. Why? Because I did sit-ups every day, pretty much. My diet wasn't right. I was out most weekends. My diet wasn't right, and I thought Sept were the be all and end all, whereas they're not at all. Another one is eat less, moving more. Somebody says to I've got to lose weight. They say, well, just eat less, move more. All right, yeah, brilliant, brilliant, Einstein. That's great, great, great advice. But that isn't. That again, yes, the chances are if you're eating too much rubbish and you're not exercising enough, yes, you'll need to fix that. But simply eating less and moving more, running every day and starving yourself every day is not going to get a result. Yes, you'll lose weight, but you won't be healthy. You won't enjoy you won't enjoy the process of what you're doing. So eating less, moving more is a complete and utter myth. Okay, and this lady Karen. Karen was like this. Karen ran for about 2 hours a day throughout a year, and this was her. And this was on her left when she came to me and she's like, I run every day, but I don't know why I'm getting results. I was asking what she was eating. She wasn't eating the right stuff. 3 months later, I told her to not run for 3 months. She did 4 45-minute workouts a week. She sorted her food out, and in that 3 months, she got into clothes she wasn't into before she had her first child, and her oldest kid's 18. So 18 years difference in 12 weeks. Mental, just from like literally exercising less and eating more because she had to eat more. She was eating a lot of she didn't sort of cut back and move more. That sort of mindset, and I reversed that, and she got a result in 3 months. I want to lose weight. I think another thing a lot of people I hear is, I just want to lose weight. I just want to lose weight. Well, really? Because like that picture and this picture, same height, same weight, same BMI, different body shape. This lady here, in the left, 127 pounds, on the right, 136. And the right, probably better shape, more lean muscle. It just goes to show that weight's not the be on end all, especially for you ladies when you've got your menstrual cycle 1 week a month. You got massive cravings. You got your bodies you just aren't the same. You've got high estrogen levels, low testosterone. But going to scales every day isn't going to get a result. I do not know one person that I've worked with, a client I've worked with, that has been on scales every day and has got a result. More often than not, it's the ladies that haven't got results, the ones that go on scales every day, because they see that as a success when it's not. I've had clients before, ladies before, that have worked with me for literally. I've had a lady that's literally been with me for about 2 years. In that 2 years, she was in a bad space mentally from postnatal depression. She was not exercising at all. She was eating the wrong foods. She was at breaking point really. But in that 2 years, she's gone down like three clothes sizes, and she does stuff now that she wouldn't do before. But she has not lost literally any weight. She might have lost a few pounds here and there, but the weight's not really changed. Her body shape's completely changed. She's 3 dress sizes down, nearly 4, and her weight's not really changed, and it's crazy. And there's people thinking all you need to do is lose weight. Well, it's total rubbish. Okay. Sorry, guys, I'm just getting a message. You may maybe experience degraded audio quality in recording. 2 seconds, ladies. I'm just going to come off this. 2 secs. So I'm just getting this forward. Okay. Sorry, I just had to close some stuff off there because it was about to go, I think. So yeah, stick to your clothes, how you feel inside, how loose your clothes feel. Take before and after pictures. Take pictures at the start. Take pictures every sort of month to kind of show where you're at. But again, this isn't for everyone. Not everyone's got to do this. I said if there's 100, there can be up to 101 attendees watching this webinar, and say that there isn't, but say there was 101 people watching this. Like I said at the start, you'd be lucky if 10 people got results from this, even 5. And that's being honest, because I've worked a lot of people, but not all of them get results. People get all the same information, the same accountability from me, the same information from me, the same support from me, the same guidance from me, the same support from everyone else, the same sessions, the same recipes, but everyone gets different results. And that amazes me. Why? Down your inner game. Your why, how much do you want it? You've got to want it, and it's not for everyone. So make sure it's for you. Okay? Evelyn was an hour one. That's 12. That's before. Is it the start? Right? Is it That's about 8 weeks actually. It was a bit less, 8 to 10 weeks I think it was. Again, a couple of dress sizes down in that time. She did the work. She went all in. She did the work. She got a result. Okay, she didn't. It wasn't so much a sort of mental thing for everyone. It was more a case of, I suppose it was actually. She hated what she was because she'd lost weight before with me. She'd been a personal training client before, and then she came to the group stuff and she got a result. So she knew she could do it before, but she came to a point where she was stuck. She didn't know what to do. She was getting worse, and she hated herself for it. She took action, got a result. Hayley, that's about 12 weeks again, right and left is after. Again, Hayley's maybe different. Most ladies I take are mums, but Hayley's not a mum, but the same principles apply. She followed my rules, she did the work, she got a result. Couple dress sizes down, completely happy where she's at now. In fact, she kind of left and she came back now because she felt like kept needing to get the kind of support from the group, the kind of the sessions. So she knows what she needs to do to get the result. Now she's got to keep doing it. Okay. And again, that's a great before and after pictures to show him what you can do. Rebecca's now one. Rebecca came to my first seminar last year. This time last year, I'd never exercised in her life. I'd never ate well in her life. I'd never even considered eating well in her life. But then she had a kid who's just over 1 year old now, and she kind of thought, you know what, I need to do this now for my kid. So, you know, in a few years' time, I don't regret it. I'm not unhappy. So I'm a good role model for my child, and she is now. And result of that, she actually went swimming where she wouldn't have done before. She would never have considered going swimming in the swimming pool before. But then she got a result. She was confident. She had the confidence to go in the pool. She did it. Again, this is like I think she went from a 16 to an 8. Rebecca, but well, she's been going for a year now. But that result that 16 to 8 probably happened within about 6 months. That picture is 12 weeks, I think. So big transformation. Again, it just shows to show it can be done. What to do next? Because we're going to wrap up soon in 5 minutes. What to do next? Well, simply put, nothing if you want to stay the same. Might sound harsh, but it's true. If you keep doing what you're doing the last 12 weeks, last year, then keep doing it. But if you want to change and do something, I can tell you right now that you can, between now and 1 month's time, you can make a huge difference the way you look and feel. If you can implement the stuff I've told you here. Okay? If you seek out more help, yes, you can maybe accelerate that change. If you want to get in touch, you want to help me directly, online, offline, whatever, then get in touch now. That's my number. Okay, so just text me, whatever, after this webinar. Give me a text, give me a shout if you want to know more about how to work with me. But even if you don't want to, even if you're doing it alone, you've got to change something. That's the be all and end all. Okay? Some stuff you come and start to see people like, oh, what if I'm fit? What if I'm too unfit? What if I'm considering myself too fat? Do I have to give it a nap? Well, what if you're unfit? Well, everyone when they start is unfit, so you've got to start somewhere. That's what I'd say to that. So get that shit out of your head. That is a bullshit story you're telling yourself to rationalise you not doing it. So stop that. What if you consider yourself too fat? Same goes. People when they start me have more body fat than they want, and they lose that if they do the work. So if you're at a point, nobody's going to think anything different. Yeah, nobody's going to think bad of you if you think you're too fat, because everyone's more focused on themselves. So you think you're too fat, you thinking everyone else caring you're too fat is a reason not to do it. Then yes, I know it's scary, but don't use that as an excuse to rationalise not doing it. Do I have to give him a nap? No, I'm not. When I say to people, the food, all that kind of stuff, I don't say to anyone, never eat chocolate again, never eat crisps again, never eat bread again, never eat pasta again, never drink again. You've still got to have a social life. You've still got to enjoy free time. You've still got to work in, enjoy your social life. Chill out. That is, especially the people in the online program, they kind of know that is a huge part of it. As important as exercise, as important as nutrition, is as important as chilling out, relaxing, giving yourself downtime, meditation, stuff like that. That's hugely important. So you don't have to give everything up. That is again, people that say you can never eat that ever again because you're going to just spontaneously combust, then don't listen. Okay, because again, it's rubbish. The package, to keep it simple: eat real food. If it's processed, then avoid it more often than not. Exercise, just do something. If you're at a point right now where you're doing nothing, then go walking, go cycling, go swimming, go. If you join a gym, just go for 20 minutes a day. If you're maybe at a more advanced point, then you can maybe look at it more specific. But if you're at a point just now where you're not doing anything, then you just got to go do something. Because something, again, spectating or participating, guess what's better? You can spectate for 3 months, or you can participate in small doses for 3 months, and at 3 months you're like ready to go bang. Okay? Participating is always better than spectating, overthinking, and getting overwhelmed. So just do something. Okay? Sleep. Aim for 7 hours a night if you can. I know myself personally. I've got a 12-year-old kid. I'm not gonna get 12, 7 to 9 hours sleep a night. So if you're at that point, then get the sleep you can in. If you've got young children, but if you're staying up late night watching box sets all night, one more episode, 2, 3 in the morning, you're getting up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and you feel like shit. It's probably because you get not enough sleep. So sort that. Get more sleep. Manage stress. That probably sounds better. Sounds something that actually is, but the three things there: the food, the exercise, the sleep. We have direct correlation to stress normally with work, with kids. So be on top of things. Be prepared. If you're on top of things, the chances are you get to manage stress better. Yes, we're not all got to be stress free day to day. I was stressed today. I was off for 2 days there. I was kind of thinking, I've got this webinar at 7 o'clock tonight. I'm not prepared for it. I never got into 5:30 tonight. I was stressed about that, but there was nothing I could really do about it. And I wasn't looking back at it now. It was stupid getting stressed about it. Supplementation when appropriate. Cod liver oil, that'd be omega-3, and greens powder. That's two supplements I get people to take. Okay, why people don't get enough greens? So that's to top it up. People don't eat enough omega-3, so that's again top it up. The desired inside change, I can't give you that. Like I said before, I can't go home yet. I can't do your shopping for you. I can't tell you to not eat that biscuits tonight. I can't tell you to not go boozing every weekend. I can't do that. It's got to come from within, and you will get results if you implement this stuff. If you do this stuff, again, you will see a change. You will see a difference. Okay. 6 steps to success. Know exactly what you want. For argument's sake, how I was before. If your goal was, what I feel and how I look, how I was before kids. That's one example. Know why you want it. I hate the way I feel every day. I'm unhappy. I'm frustrated. I'm, drifting away from my partner. I'm scared of getting divorced. Anything like that. Scary. Might sound a bit brutal, but it's true. Know when you want to buy. 12, 16 weeks. Simple. Write it down. Know the price. Emotional cost. What will happen if you don't do it? What will that do to you emotionally? If 1 year down the line you get worse, and you look back in 1 year's time and you think, what if I did that? How do I look and feel now? That's emotional cost. Health-wise, again, people can scrimp and save with fitness and nutrition, but longer down the line, if you need to pay big health bills, then what will that cost you? Financial, if you know you need more accountability, if you know you need help with something you're weak at, i.e., if you want to work with me, then pay the financial price. Simple. Because like an email today, people can skimp and save with try to be cheap with their health, but you're the most important person in you. What's more important than you? Nothing. Okay? Commit and pay the price. Okay? You've got this, you can do this, you deserve this. Keep calm and stop making excuses. Okay? Excuses can get in the way. They can make you feel better for not doing something, but it might be why you are where you are today. So stop that, okay? And I'm just going to wrap up now for literally 2 minutes. It's 7:58. I've got to wrap this up in 2 minutes. I've got 2 minutes for questions. That's actually timed quite well. I've got 2 minutes for questions. If you don't have any, I'll close up. If you do have any, write them in the chat box just now, and I'll need to go up my next webinar in 2 minutes. So be quick, okay? And I'll answer as best I can. Okay, so you have some questions here. All good, all good, all good. Perfect. Well, if you're all good, perfect. That's fine. Great job, thank you. That really helps. No, I'm glad if something helps, if you get something from this and it helps, then I'm delighted, ladies. Seriously. So please take something from this. I'd be happy if you just got something from this and used it. That'd be my time worthwhile. Okay. But again, if you want to take it further, if you want to get in touch, then get in touch. You know where I am. But I've got to leave it there now. Again, email me, text me, Facebook me if there's anything you're unsure of. Any questions you have for ladies that have been on tonight. But I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something from it. And all I would say is just do it. What is stopping you? What is the worst that can happen? What is stopping you from starting something tomorrow? Okay? Just go and do the work and make it happen, okay? I'll see you later, ladies. Bye-bye.